Hello.
Hello.
Right, in this video we're going to go to IH Motorhomes. The video isn't meant as a review of the van, so don't think it's a review of a 630 RL. It's our take on us looking around the van to see if it suits our needs. If it helps you out viewing the van, that's great, but it's not a van review. Just want to point that out. Back to the action. We're at IH Motorhomes. We're going to look at a 630 RL. Come and have a look.
Yeah.
So this van is for sale as is. Obviously, well, it's way too early for us, but you can see it's 82 grand at this. It's on a Citroen base, but I do not want a white van.
Yeah, so one of the other things that Rick wanted to look at was the driving position.
Yeah, when we're driving ours, the fridge is there.
Yeah, you can't get anywhere.
And I can't get my seat in the position because it hits the fridge. Obviously, straight away you can see that the restrictive thing is that corner, and that's it. But that's the seat as far back as it can go on the runners, which I can't do on our van. My leg, when I'm changing gear, rubs on that, and you can see straight away that I've got 3 or 4 inches there. So straight away I'm further back.
What about your headroom? Is that about the same?
Yeah, I think so.
The only reason is I would just wonder whether you can get these lower.
Well, yes, this swivel may be a lower swivel base than our swivel base because it works differently. It's this, whereas ours is a lever there, it's this. Yeah. So it's a different swivel base, but the headroom was never the issue. It was the leg room, and definitely, again, that isn't the fault of the eldest, that's the fault of the van.
I see we were on about the...
Some of these vans have the seat belts built into the seats.
But this particular one...
This one doesn't, but...
Maybe it's because it's the Citroen.
Maybe. Either way, that doesn't matter to me.
So just put your seat belt on, now you've got it all the way back. As daft as it is, it's just... Sometimes seat belts are a pain in the arse.
Well, they're adjustable up and down anyway, but no. I've got no issue at all. This seat is lower, and I'll tell you why I know. Putting my hand down automatically to the handbrake, it's in position, whereas I have to go down to the handbrake, even being this tall. My hand is on the handbrake at this position, so the seat is lower.
That's what I thought. I thought it looked like you've got more headroom.
Yes, possibly, but you don't. That was never an issue.
No, I know it wasn't.
But yeah.
Just so that people know, I've been looking at my little list of things to check.
Yeah.
Because I do this. Everybody knows by now I make lists.
I wonder what that is. Where do you put the batteries for that, do you think? No rude jokes.
Have you not got one on yours?
It's going. No. Oh yes, it's obviously
a lumber thing, isn't it?
Lumber thing for your back,
yeah.
Very nice. And should I say, 2 armrests, people. Yeah. Some vans that we're looking at have 1, and why? We want 2. Even our eldest has got 2. We want 2. If I'm going to fall asleep at the wheel, I want my arms like that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to fall off the.
Yeah, I don't fall off the seat if I'm going to fall asleep driving, do I? Come on.
Have you looked inside this?
I have looked inside there, and do you know what? You could fit many beer in there.
Many beer.
Dog food will go in there. Let's be honest. But I was
saying, dog might go in there.
I was saying we need to fit a table bracket there.
Yeah, well, we've got one of them.
Yes, that's what would happen. Although you don't actually need a table there. It would not hurt to be able to...
Well, no, because, like I say, I sat down... Yeah, I mean, you do...
I know you say no.
Yeah, you do this. You do the same again, because obviously you've got with having longer legs.
I know you say no, you wouldn't. But, of course, if you've got a little table here, people can still get in and out without that up. So, yeah, fine for me. That's absolutely fine. You don't need the table, but what I'm saying is, if I was sitting here and we had a little table there, you can just walk in and out without worrying about it. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, this rotation is as simple as this. Flick that lever, and you're there. And then obviously back as far as you like, dictated by the steering wheel.
Yeah. Well, like I say, you'd pushed it a bit too far back. You need,
for me there.
Yeah, you need to be a little bit further forward to be able to.
But I am now. My knees aren't hitting. Yeah. I could happily sit here editing, or just having a cup of tea.
Well, I carry on sleeping.
A beer. I mean, it's very rare I do, as you know, but yeah. And there is a little plug socket here.
Oh, right.
And a USB charger. I don't know if you've noticed that.
No.
So again, you could sit there charging your iPad or whatever. And yeah, it just gives us, I've said this, but again, in the edit I may not use all the footage, it gives us the option of a separate area. It's like having a dinette, but not having a dinette. You've got all your fuses and stuff in there.
What's this one?
That's going to be your charger, that is, for your batteries.
Electronic battery charger.
Yeah. And then...
Is that a B2B?
I don't know, that's your charger unit that's charging your onboard batteries. Yeah. Or, you know, certainly being used to convert 240 down to 12 to power everything that's 12. It's the same sort of principle. What's in the little cupboard underneath you? Yeah. Now we've got a bit of madness on the radio. I'm really hoping I don't have to voice this over. So that's just a little cupboard there for knickknacks and stuff. There's no point showing you the cab. This is a Citroen Relay. It's exactly the same as our van. You've obviously got little lights. You can add a lot of lights. They touch on and off. You can add a lot of lights. You can obviously specify more.
That looks really big. That does.
Believe it or not, it's obviously the same size. It's just the way it looks. One concern we did have. It's not a concern, but it's just an irritation for me. I like the toilet door to open the other way. I see no point in sitting here of a night time, walking past the toilet, turning round, opening the door and going in. Understand why they do it. Strongest part of the wall is here. But yeah, you can see there, that would flex too much to hang a door from. But however, our door in the eldest does hang from there. It's not a deal breaker, it's just I prefer the door to go the other way. So obviously, as Heather says, we've got a telly bracket there, and it's in a lockable cupboard. You've got all your controls for your Truma and your heating there. All cupboards there. Speakers in the back as well. This is a little tiny cupboard, but of course, because you've got a boot at the back and all this is your garage area, this is actually empty as well. There's nothing in there, so the option is you could put all your bits of bedding in there and still put all your chairs and stuff out there. I'm presuming this side is fixed, and there are, yeah, it looks like your heater and stuff is in there. And then obviously you've got access to your boot area there. So yeah.
I want me dinner. I want me dinner.
Little spice cupboard there.
I can sit there.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that's good. Plenty of cupboards. No microwave in this. We're not bothered about that. We don't want a microwave. Or a bread bin, as we call it in our house. And then obviously magazine rack there, or whatever you want. Little touch lights there, obviously two position, little tiny one, press again and the big one comes on. But again, you can specify more lights and stuff like that in this van. Obviously your roof lighting, it's got a huge skylight in this, and then another one at the front. Bathroom isn't the biggest, and there is no skylight in there. There's an extractor fan. I could put the light on, couldn't I? The save with this one is it's got a bench toilet, which is a lot. We found already the pedestal one for us is annoying, and then obviously you've saved a lot of room. You've got the tip-up sink. You know, it's a small bathroom, but it works. Very well lit. And it's perfectly acceptable. Shower curtain I'm not keen on, but as we say, two years of owning our van at the minute, we've still not had a shower in it, so not bothered about that. Perfectly acceptable. So Heather's just looking in the cupboards down there. So you've got your cutlery drawer and a big drawer there, and then a big pan drawer underneath, and then in there is empty. You could store your frying pans and Ridge Monkey and stuff under there. You obviously got an oven and grill rather than combined in this one, and you've got a hot plate and 3 burners. Oh. We do prefer the sink in this having a drainer.
Yeah, I was a bit sort of... My concern was that you've got all this glass once you've got it down, but you can use the drainer.
Yeah, you can use the drainer.
And because this is
so big.
Yeah. Like say you create, you know, if you've got that open and you're cooking.
Yeah, exactly. You've got plenty of room.
Loads of room.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely very favourable. A good thing as well with this van, a few vans do this but ours doesn't, is having a sliding window on the sliding door side. Obviously, if you had a pop-out window and you've got the door open, you're going to smash the window. On the eldest that we've got now, it's got a pop-out window with a limiter on it, and it's pointless. You can open it 1 inch and that's all you can do. With this, at least you can have the window all the way open, and then you've got your normal flip-out window there. And if you've got 2 back doors, you'll have 2 flip-out windows there, or you've got the rear frame like this and you've got the flip-out. So again, blinds and fly screens the same as any van. I'm not sure if I've pulled that level, that's probably me. There we go, it's my fault. Yeah, very nice. As I say, I don't need to worry about specifying where the plug sockets are and stuff, because they can be altered and adapted. They've also said to us if we'd got a problem with the cushions and these can all be made removable. They could make the cushions taller, you don't need to have these. These are all things that we can look at. As I say, this is a very beginning of the journey of looking for another van. This is the cupboard above the fridge. It's really annoying that this music is playing. I'm hoping I can get away with this. But yeah, you've got your TV aerial and your table pole there. And then underneath, I believe you can specify either a 3-way fridge or a compressor. You're never going to find the perfect van. This is the thing. It doesn't exist. It's all compromise. But yeah, sitting back at the front here, don't know, it's just we don't use this front area on ours because where I've got my feet now, it doesn't exist in our van, and they're dangling like that. It's tight here because the fridge is here. I can see us actually being able to have a separate area to live in. Should I want to sit editing a video or something, I can sit there. If Heather wants to watch the telly, she can sit there. At the minute we have to lounge at the back. We've got no other option. We were just checking under here. I thought this would be completely filled up. You can see the water boiler is on board and it's there. But you have got a little storage pot there that flips up, and your water pump is under there. So you have got a bit of storage in there.
Yeah.
We are struggling to find where the battery is, the leisure battery. Of course. Yeah, maybe, or maybe it's under the driver's seat. Sometimes they put them under there. We can ask these questions. Okay, in the boot, leisure batteries in the corner, and obviously you've got touch lighting in here, and that access is into under the bed there. So you'd put all your chairs and all your stuff in here, and you could put your bedding down there. And like we say, this panel is probably flickering, unfortunately, due to the LEDs, but this panel stays. Even if we've got double doors, that's what I was trying to explain to you. It makes no difference if we have this back boot where they take the whole doors off and see where the hinges would be. doesn't make any difference if you have this or the doors, it still ultimately looks like that. So this is a nice option to have. It looks lovely, but the doors still do the same job. You can't exit through them. There you go. Make yourself at home, why don't you?
Well, my side's all right.
Yeah, yeah. So you've pulled them half out, like you say. This is what we tend to do.
Pulled it out that far.
Oh, okay, and then you've dropped the cushions down there.
Yeah,
Right.
Just make sure that.
Yeah, no, I've got you.
And then put the
Cushions down there.
So they're out of the way.
Right, this is what we tend to do in the van. The issue...
And like I say, from my point of view, that's...
Yeah, well, you're a short arse. So, the issue that we've got, we do not want to end up like in Pearl, where all these cushions are under the spare bed. So we knew that looking on videos that we'd got this little bit of a shelf, and we were hoping that we could put them cushions up there because I'm so tall. Now,
Right, so you
the issue we've got, is the length of my body. They can make this panel removable. We've just spoken to Chris, the sales guy. However, if they make it removable, we've got nowhere to put the cushions. And people may say, why don't you throw them up the front? We don't want to. The last thing we want to do is put cushions up the front, and we want to be able to just...
It took 2 seconds to
Exactly.
pull them. I mean, we can show people if you like and put them up the front.
We can do that in a bit. So basically, we know we can do that, which is good. And I can lie down. It's the same length. However, we've got this issue here.
You see, you don't like that,
No,
though.
I don't. I'm just being full extent.
Yeah.
But I think with my pillars...
Well, put the cushions
I
as
don't
your
want to lie
pillars.
on people's pillars. But I think with my pillars under there, I don't think I'll hit my head on that. I don't think it's going to
Well, it's soft anyway, isn't it?
Yeah, it's exactly. I don't think it's going to be an issue. Nobody's going to lie like that. Nobody sleeps like that.
I was talking about
that's
his
not
head
gonna be
being
an
soft
issue.
anyway.
And as Chris has just said, if it's a real issue, you lie the other way, and I put my head there and my feet under there.
Yeah, well, we'll do that. And
We'll try that in a minute. But
yeah, because obviously
basically,
you, again, just so that people can see, you've got the TV cupboard there
Yeah.
with this bit sitting out.
Yeah.
And again, so I would end up lying on that side.
Yeah. But one of the big fears that we've got, because we've watched so many videos over the past few months, specifically the past few days when we knew we come, was whether this would work. And it will, because although I'm so tall, I don't lie like this. You know, most people, me included, sleep like that. So it'll work, and that's the main issue that we've got. So that's good.
Even in Pearl, I'll get up in the night sometimes, and if you are lying on your back, your feet are still,
Your feet are outside, yeah.
you know,
That's just
they're
what-
always in the way.
That's just what I do. But it's good. It works. That's
And the
main
other thing that we were concerned about was that we thought that only one of these came, only one pulled out,
Some
one of
vans,
these.
only one pulls
But
out.
because both of them pull out,
We can do
and,
this.
and we can do that, we could put that, and that's not in the way at all because these are nice and are nice and
Oh,
wide.
that's good, that is. That's fine.
Oh.
It works. Big problem solved straight away.
And apparently, the other thing that Chris said was that this one is one of the ones with the boot.
Yes.
But even with the back doors, you still have this piece.
Yeah. You cannot
in
exit.
there.
You cannot exit through the back doors, even if you've got back doors, which is it's a U-shaped lounge, so we still get the garage. It just means for us the option of paying extra for the fixed panel at the back we don't require. It makes no odds, does it?
No,
Because that's a £4,000 option, I think.
something like that, yeah.
Something like that. We'll show you the outside in a bit, but yeah. The other option is, of course, we will show you outside. They do this version of van. This is a 630 RL, by the way. They do this version of a van with a caravan door on the side or the sliding door. Again, it's a price option. They look nicer, but we're not worried about that. Sliding doors.
It'd be nice to see it though properly.
We will go and have a
yeah.
look. But anyway, we'll put this back together nicely and do a proper look around the van now.
Nice, it slides.
Yeah, it slides. Yes.
this one had actually turned over.
Yeah.
Let me just turn it back the other way. I might actually get to sit on it because I haven't sat on it.
No, you haven't sat on it yet, have you? Once it's actually set up as a U-shaped lounge, it's very, very nice. Again, we struggle with ours.
The other thing that people need to be aware of is, yes, I'm struggling a little bit to get them in, but bear in mind this is brand new.
It's brand new and the foam's really good quality foam.
You know, it's really comfortable.
We are not knocking our own eldest,
No.
but you can tell where the extra money's gone in the fixtures and fittings. This is the thing, you're sitting like that. We struggle because we're up the back doors.
So comfortable.
I know. and you're leaning on the door frames and stuff.
Cushions.
I know. It is. It's really good.
I mean, we're not into the scatter cushions, but
No.
you just really wouldn't need to be.
No, I mean, I'm there like that. So normally when I'm sat in the van like this, I'm like propped up the corner and I'm trying to avoid the windows and stuff like that. And it's this shelf that helps. I mean, we sound like we're gushing, and we've still got other vans we'd like to see, but I'm really pleased that the lounge works and the bed will work from that. It also seems very strange sitting in a 6.3 metre van, because we're used to sitting in Pearl obviously, and how far away the cab seems to look. Do you get that in your brain?
Yeah.
The cab seems so far away, and it's only 30 centimetres longer. 36 centimetres. Yeah, so this is the same. It's a 630, but this is what they call the N class because it's got a Caravan Door style on the side. Everything is the same bar that door, and again, it's got the fixed panel on the back, but I keep saying you can still get it with the normal doors and the garage stays the same. So yeah, with this one, as I say, if you can see there, the sliding door is in effect still there, but it's been panelled over and had a door grafted in. So you get a slightly different entry. You also get then the fridge, the cooker and the sink are the opposite way round then.
Yeah.
Because you gain a window here, but you lose your outdoor table that flips down there, but you don't gain anything else. It's exactly the same. Your table is smaller, Heather.
Yes, I noticed.
The little flip-up table is smaller.
It's smaller.
It's smaller.
Both ways, isn't it?
Yeah. And you've got a fly screen on this as standard anyway, but everything else is the same. This is on a Fiat, laid out exactly the same. No point looking any different. It was just to say that, so basically this module here with your cooker and your sink is flipped the other way.
I like it.
Yeah, I like it as well, but I don't $4 like it, which I think the option for the door is $4, I think. It would not bother me. Again, it's nice, but I quite like having the big sliding door open. It's just personal taste. And if I was going to spend an extra $4, I would go things like a lithium battery and a better solar panel and so on and so forth. But again, that isn't a criticism, it's just a nice to have but not needed thing, certainly for me, with this fan anyway. This is exactly the same. It's just called a 630 RD, simply because it's got rear doors, so they call the RL. But this has got the doors. We're hoping to try and find the keys for this one. This one's still in production, the guy's saying, so they don't have them open. But Heather just wants to see what it looks like with the doors open. While we're just wandering around, if you want to check the IH YouTube channel, they do monthly stock updates of all the stuff that they've got in. It's not just their own vehicles that they do. They have a wide variety of stuff to see. But yeah, we're pleasantly surprised with the van, we've got to say. So you can see this one's on a Peugeot, that one's on a Peugeot as well, and then The one inside was a Citroen, and then that one there is a Fiat. It's all the same van, it just depends what van that they've got in at the time. I'm not even sure which. I think they normally specify a Fiat, but of course availability is dictating that they're taking anything, I think, at the minute. Yeah, I mean, I quite like this door, but again, I don't know if I like the price. I'm not too bothered about the back, if I'm honest. Back doors or that, you know, if they were the same price, then you'd go, yeah, that looks nice. But I'm not sure it bothers. I think it's because the one big window at the back looks nice, as opposed to two windows. But that's not a deal breaker, is it?
See, that one's got a window in the toilet.
Yeah, that one's got a window in the toilet.
I've just said to Paul, I'm not interested with the window in the toilet, because then you've got to remember to put the blind down.
Yeah, but yeah, again, don't know why that is. What the difference between. And then this one here is, see, this is a 630 RD, exactly the same, and it hasn't got a window in the toilet. So it must be something that you can specify if you want that. Yeah, there you go. Certainly a lot to think about there with the vans. The biggest thing at the minute is they do not have prices for the new vans released from Fiat yet, so we don't know what price they're going to be. The basis is, if you want one, you book a build slot, costs you £3,000. That's refundable if you don't like the sound of what the price is going to be. But we can do that at a later date. We were certainly right in what we thought. We're at that point already where if we want a new van for October 2024, we need to start looking within the next month or so, because that's how long they take to get, build and whatever. So they build 6 vans a month. It's all they can do. So yeah, you pay for your build slot. The good thing is, if we decided to pull out because they got a second-hand one in that we like the look of, you can transfer your deposit to that with no penalty and stuff like that. And as I say, if you don't like the price of a new van, you can have your deposit back. So,
and even when they get the price of the new vans, they could still go up again.
They could still go up again
in 6 months' time, in 12 months' time.
Yeah.
You know, it's it must be very frustrating for them.
It must be really difficult trying to run a business and not knowing what you can sell. But that is what it is at the minute. Thoughts from me are, it's a very, very nice van. Not going to knock it. There's a few things on every van that we're going to look at that we've got an issue with. There weren't that many on this. The big thing was going to be, did the bed work? It works. The fittings and fixtures are great. You can adapt so many different things. As I say, we're at the start of the journey. If we're going to have one of these, you'd go back for another day and work out if you were interested on colours and specifications. There's so many options. But that's by the by. At the minute, we now know where we stand if we want one of these, and the procedure that we go with. So stay tuned. There will be obviously other videos where we go and visit different manufacturers, because this isn't a given. We've got a couple others to look at. But this basically was the first one we looked at.
Yeah, they got a weekend.
Yeah, it was their viewing weekend, so we did it like that. So stay tuned. We'll catch you on another video when we're on another special mission. Laters.